What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the FFP channel. This is a week of training for FireFit. So we got 4 sessions here in the week. I hit some strength work in between, but you can find those workouts in the program review series of muscle mobility. That's the program I'm doing in conjunction with this FireFit training. So day one, we have lactic threshold. I hit 3 sets, 90 seconds on, 4 minutes off. 90 seconds, as hard as I can. Work trying to sustain that effort. I didn't want to push too hard and then taper off. I wanted to maintain a certain amount of wattage the entire time. So my goal was around the low 500 wattage for the entire 90 seconds. At the beginning, it doesn't feel too bad for the first 15 seconds, but once you cross over to that like 40-second range, it starts to get really hard, especially after the 60 seconds. I have noticed over the weeks that my tolerance gone better. I've been able to hold that range that I was talking about earlier, the low 500s. More consistently before by the third set, I'm just absolutely smoked. I keep the rest 4 minutes. I find it's enough time, enough rest for me to recover so I can really push the output. Some people get it confused and think this is more of a conditioning session, so they go 90 seconds on, 90 seconds off. With FireFit, it is a all-out effort, as hard and as fast as you can go, and I'm trying to improve that lactic pathway, trying to improve my ability to push through that accumulation of lactic acid, as well as confidence in my abilities as it starts to accumulate and as it hurts. This is some of my harder sessions because it really tests me. 90 seconds all out. I picked 90 seconds because that is my goal for my FireFit, is to do it in 90 seconds. Previously, I've done it in 100, so I've been pushing that range just to get familiar with that 90 seconds of work. I typically do only one lactic threshold session a week because it's so taxing. I try and prioritize speed and power for the remaining sessions. So typically for the rest, I try and just do nothing. Maybe I'll do some upper body stuff, but the assault bike really just kills me. So that was session number one. Session number two was power. It was a plyometric focus workout, and actually loaded plyometrics, which was newer for me. I didn't start off with weighted plyometrics. I didn't want to overload the lower leg. So here you see a warm up, doing different progressive jumps, 2-foot hops, single foot hops. I'll move into some progressive double foot jumps. We're just trying to get higher and higher, trying to shorten the ground contact time as soon as I make contact with the ground, jump up. Did some deep lunge hops here, kind of warming up the legs, challenging the quads. Nothing too crazy. I pushed the height a little bit, but this is more of a warm up. Then I went into some more lateral hop, single foot again. FireFit is very much a single leg driven sport, climbing stairs, running through cones, hose drag. So really trying to prime that single leg. I've definitely noticed an improvement in my single leg plyometric. And typically the warm ups, I try and keep it fun. There's no real structure. I always start with 2 feet and progress to one, and tried some movements here in the warm up. So now we're getting to the power segment. Did some switch lunge jumps, and then I did some 3-to-1. So 3-to-1 hops using the dumbbells, and then going to a body weight. It's not really body weight because I'm using the vest, but trying to get more and more comfortable with that load. Then I did some stair hops here, single foot. Then went with a single foot, trying to skip a stair. Feeling a lot more explosive, especially with under that load. I really didn't notice it, so that's really the goal. This FireFit training, just get as explosive as possible, and so I can really drive up those stairs and drive with the hose. I try and keep it fun. On these plyo days, try not to have too much structure. I just try and make sure it progresses, as well as I add in some lateral movements as well. After the single foot double stair hops, I moved into some side to side hops. I feel like lateral movement's super important for athleticism, especially with the hydrant run. My ability to drive in that lateral plane is super important. I did some stair hops here, did double stair, and then I progressed into a triple stair, trying to get as explosive as possible. Felt really good with the vest, and then added some dumbbells to make it a little bit more challenging. Session 3, speed. Back on the stairs, moving with the sandbag. Went up and down continuous. So only hit 3 sets here, 4 minutes rest. I found this actually really taxing. So sprinting up the stairs as fast as possible with the bag. So 45-pound bag, 20-pound vest. As soon as I got to the top, drop the bag, and then try to rip downstairs as fast as possible. This was something new that I added into my training, trying to improve my speed down. My up's okay, but my down, I really struggle. So trying to do this under fatigue. Trying to work on my arm placement as well with the railing, trying to make that second nature, Feeling a lot more confident this year with the stairs. I'm really excited to see how I perform um, July 25th come game day. So really, really good session. These stair sessions always kill me, but feeling a lot better. I try and make sure also I take significant amount of rest, so usually about 4 minutes of rest, and then kept the sets 3 because it was really taxing. Final session. Now, I said earlier I typically only hit one lactic threshold session a week. This was a lactic threshold, but I did it with a little bit of speed work. So I did 60 seconds on the bike, really trying to push the effort. I got into like the mid 500s here. The goal was to really fatigue the legs, and then go into some cone runs. Typically once you reach the cone run in the event, you're about halfway through and your legs are toast. So I just wanted to mimic that and still trying to keep the speed through the cones. Previous years, I kind of jogged the cones. My first year, I really jogged it because I was worried about how I'd feel come dummy drag. The second year, I tried better conditioning, so I was able to um, push the cone run a little bit more. This year, I want to be sprinting the entire time. So I decided to add this in. It is lactic threshold, which like I said, I only try and do one, but it is also a bit of a speed session as well. So right from the bike into the cone sprints, trying to still move. I didn't do it weighted. I probably when I do the session again, I may do it weighted. Um, it was it was hard, man. You come off that bike and your legs can barely move. So trying to be intentional with the knee drive. I hit the session with my buddy Pete, and it was his first time on the bike, and he did phenomenal. The first set definitely got him. He started off a little bit too hot, and he started to taper out. So then for the later sets, he tried to be a little more conservative so he can maintain that pace the whole way through. Um, it was funny. His first set, he gets off the bike, he starts running, and his feet can barely come off the ground. He didn't anticipate that lactic acid buildup and how hard it'd be to move the legs. And so that's what I'm really training here is being able to push through when my legs feel like concrete blocks, trying to maintain that speed. I train that with the stairs. Now I'm training that with the cones. I do it with the dummy as well. Just being able to push through and keep that foot on the gas the entire time. Feeling really, really good with this prep, and I'm excited to see how I perform. This is the first year I've actually doing a full prep. So it's a full 8-week block prioritizing the FireFit moves. Previous years it was in combination with other training like high rocks. This year, I'm able to do 8 full weeks of FireFit training, hitting my speed, hitting my power, hitting my lactic threshold. So great week of training. I hope you enjoy.